Cool. Well, thank you for joining. Uwe, would you mind introducing yourself and the business?
Yeah, my name's Uwe Dalibor. I am the founder here at Trident Bath.
Sweet. And what do you guys do? Tell me a little bit about Trident Bath.
Yeah, so Trident Bath is a focused organization. We do just wet space only, one-day bath remodels, and we are in 2 markets, in Milwaukee and the Twin Cities, greater Minnesota.
Okay. And how long have you guys been in business?
We are working on our 16th month in business.
16th month. And what are you pacing this month?
We will likely flush out at 2.75 million this month.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sweet. And I know we initially got connected back at the beginning of the year, but would you mind sharing how we initially met?
So we met through another individual who is an industry expert, I would say, and she referred me and said, "Hey, you like lead sources that are sub 15%?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I do like that a lot. I do like to find those." She goes, "I have a guy, you need to call him." And we had struggled to drive efficient marketing, efficient leads inside of Meta. I had tried probably 3 different partners, 3 different strategies realistically. And so we finally met you guys, and here we are off to the races.
Yeah. Yeah. What were your goals going into the partnership? Like, what did success really look like?
The big one was the leads that we generated in a cost-effective fashion. We were getting finance declines on the back end. So it's like, hey, we nailed it. We're getting affordable leads, but none of them are financially qualified. There's a big problem. We've tried a few other meta strategies where we, cleaned up some of the financial disqualification, but $160 for a Facebook lead that books at 25% is a tough nut to crack on the sales efficiency side. So the real goal, looking at it holistically, is we need to drive efficient leads 1-to-1 and have a cost of marketing that's in line with our budget. That was our top priority.
Yeah. So it sounds like the problem, you worked with 3 different meta marketing agencies in the past. The first one, high finance declines. The second one was just high cost per lead. And what happened with the third one?
We ran into the financial qualification issue twice.
Okay. Gotcha. And were you working with smaller agencies, or were these some of the bigger agencies in the space?
Both. So one rather larger, more reputable agency. I was kind of shocked that we didn't have the success that we were looking for. They were responsive. They were a decent partner to us, but at the end of the day, we need results.
Yeah, I hear you. So I take it you were pretty skeptical, starting with us as your 4th meta agency.
Yeah, skeptical, and the reality is, it's such a big piece of our marketing mix is driven on Meta now, and we knew we needed to get there. And so it was like, hey, I kind of entered the conversation like, look, I have to own our side of things a little bit here, but I need to find a partner that's going to find a way to get this figured out. It's like the next partner I choose is we're getting married, and we need to find a way to do this together, because I need this to be a part of my lead mix, and we haven't found a way yet.
Yeah, no, I get that. So how would you say your results have been so far?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I can tell you how I feel. We can dive into the numbers, and I can show you exactly what it is.
Yeah,
you guys have been fantastic. I have nothing but amazing things to say. From, there's specific things that we want. We want to get, at the end of the month, we need to know exactly what we spent in the month prior, so we can track our source costs and assess on a regular cadence. You guys are right on top of those kinds of things. If we want to meet weekly, you'll meet weekly with us. Bi-weekly, we'll meet bi-weekly. So the communication's fantastic, and that's absolutely necessary, especially if you have reservations going into this. Like, hey, I'm nervous. I haven't found success yet. I've lost a lot of money on meta advertising. I need to meet with you on a weekly basis until we have enough trust that I can let you do your thing. And you are willing to meet with us, and then the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like our first month working together, things were definitely skeptical, right? We wanted to make sure we were keeping a close eye on everything. We had a set budget. We didn't want to exceed a good testing budget. So diving into some of the numbers then, what are you seeing so far? What's our current cost per demo? We'll start with that one.
You have to give me a minute here.
No worries.
let me customize this. You can snip this out, yeah?
Yeah, no worries.
All right, cool. Let's look at this, the calendar year. Perfect. I'm showing, the cost per demo. The cost per demo is ridiculous. We are at a $420 cost per demo with you guys.
That's solid. Yeah, that's really solid. And what has your set rate been at so far since we launched?
26% year to date.
26%. Awesome. And I can actually pull up the CPL on our end. Since we launched, barring our ad account issue where with your third partner, total spend since we relaunched has been about 80,000. We're averaging about a $40.97 CPL since launch. And you're setting at about 26%. And you said you gave the cost per demo. What are you guys closing at right now? What's your gross close rate?
About 24% gross close.
Okay. And the current cost of marketing?
About 12%.
And total revenue?
1.15 million in gross sales. Yeah.
And we launched less than 6 months ago, right?
Yeah. And I'd love to share about the hiccup. Yeah. So on my end, I had somebody actually hack into my ad account, and our whole entire organization is relying on these leads, and all of this spend just vaporized. We have no access to our ad accounts. They're shut down, all of the learnings, all the data. And so on our side of the business, we go into panic mode, and an agency really has you over the barrel at that point because it's completely out of your control. We have this major problem and we needed to get it fixed. You guys did such an amazing job. Like, you're like, hey, we know what to do. This is the strategy. We're going to get you back live in like 72 hours and just bridge the entire gap for us. And we almost didn't even skip a beat. It was amazing to see. I was so relieved, and we were able to solve the problem super quickly. And it was no fault of your own. It was a data breach on my end completely. And it's a bit awkward making that phone call to you like, hey man, we kind of messed up. And anyway, here we are. So
yeah, no, it's I mean, it sucks getting hacked. We've had that happen to a handful of clients, and it's always tough, but I'm glad we're able to get you guys live pretty soon, pretty quick after, and get back on track.
Yeah, the numbers are crazy. I think the real value of having a lead source. So most businesses and most BAT businesses that I network with, they're looking to spend 15% of ad spend. That's what they want. I want to be at 15%. What's so amazing is by having a source that consistently performs around 12, 13% and is driving, $150,000, $200,000 a month, is some of these other sources. If you want to test direct mail, that's what we're getting to do. I have the freedom now to test direct mail. And so our whole business is able to explode because we have sources that we can use like Lightningrowth. We have a source that we can use like Lightningrowth that will consistently pull us in around that 12%. So we can afford some of these luxuries like direct mail and TV, which really just brings the whole entire lead mix together and drives efficiency in the business.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Have you found any other sort of unintended benefits from working with us?
I shouldn't even tell you this. So we do get quite a few calls where people just say, hey, we saw you on Facebook.
Yeah,
we do a lot of organic social media as well. I'd imagine that a lot of these are one-offs. People see us, they maybe look us up on our Facebook page and indirectly then end up calling us. We're not quite there enough to know exactly to pinpoint where it's come from, but there is no question that these are the results on last touch point attribution. For sure, we know what you guys have done, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're seeing there's other non-directly attributable revenue that's a part of our spend with you guys. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, no, it's we hear that a ton. Like you're getting so many impressions from these ads where you get a very small percentage of people that actually follow our funnel, but you're getting hundreds of thousands of people that actually view the ads. So it's a really tough thing to track. I wish we were able to track it better, but the brand reach that you get through Facebook is huge on top of just the lead gen.
At this point, I would never consider a meta agency that didn't run ads out of an account that we have ownership of, because having your brand at the bottom of the page, you know, that constant impression is so critical. It's, if you're going to spend money, you may as well do it in a place that you can brand yourself. And you guys are fantastic at that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. Would you say, I'm curious what you think is different, because you worked with 3 other agencies, right? And I have my own, obviously I'm biased about what makes us different, but what do you think makes us different? Why do you think we saw success versus not with those other agencies?
I can tell you one conclusion I have. I actually had that one of the agencies actually reached out to me. This is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't tell you this yet. And he said, man, how big have you gotten? And I said, you know, we'll do like 2.7 this month. And he goes, I just was curious of what you were up to. And I looked your ad account up in the Meta Ads library. And he's like, I was blown away at how many creatives you're testing. He goes, you must be massive. And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I'm working with Lightningrowth now. These guys are killer. And so I believe that the amount of creative that you guys test with, and then the targeting, you know, we're testing with a ton of different creative, and the targeting that you guys have. We've not had any finance decline issue. I don't kind of was like, obviously whatever we were doing before was just completely different, because it's just a non-existent issue for us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So the old agency reached out to you. He's like,
dude, you must have blown up, man. He's like, I've seen how many ad creatives are you testing? I don't know. I said, a lot, man. I know it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, what else would you say? I mean, I know we've talked about a lot, but what else would you say you enjoy about working with Lightningrowth?
I love that we can have this conversation online and offline. If we have, in the middle of the month, and I'll speak directly. HomeBuddy gets super competitive sometimes, and some new player gets a bold idea that they're going to spend a ton of money there, and the leads are harder to get. And I can, in an email, say, hey, we need to make a little shift or an adjustment to our budgets. We want to increase our spend in this specific market. It's like this. I mean, right away, we're making the adjustments necessary, and it's absolutely critical to allocate our dollars in the most cost-effective fashion. So that's fantastic. The communication's great. The reporting is great. We're aligned. The messaging is great. We do really well with the offer as a company, and we just hit home runs with you guys.
Yeah. No, I think that's one thing I would attribute that you guys have done really well is your set rate. You're setting at the top percentile among a lot of our clients. And also, I know we've kind of been struggling a little bit with close rate. We've just been getting so many opportunities where we haven't closed as many, but I'd say you guys are usually consistently closing more than some of our other clients where they might really struggle with the offer that we're running. But you've done a great job of actually coaching your team, showing them how to close the types of leads we're generating. And I think that has had a huge impact on the success.
Yeah, we really internally, we look at every single lead source as attracting a different type of customer. And the customer who wants a Lightningrowth lead still wants a quality project. We've never ran into, very rarely we run into somebody that's like, I'm just looking for the cheapest thing. These customers, they just want to feel like they're getting a great deal. And so a big part of our sales process is appreciating the business and helping us showcase, what we do is we simply make them feel like they've gotten an absolutely fantastic deal. We give them an absolutely, if we're selling a $20,000 project, we give them a $30,000 experience from the point of sale all the way to completion. And a part of the offer, we get them in a photo at the end of the job, holding a 5-star, 100% satisfied sign. They buy in, they believe, they like and share sometimes their projects on social media. It's so cool to see.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you had to sum up your experience with Lightningrowth in one phrase, what would it be?
Ooh, one phrase. I'd say excellence. I'd say excellence. We believe that excellence is accountability, integrity, honesty, and craftsmanship at Trident. What excellence is demonstrating all those other things consistently, and that's excellence. So we're accountable to the results. You guys have done what you said you're going to do. And the craftsmanship piece for us, right? We install these showers, but we believe that craftsmanship is in every area of our business. How are we crafting the ad? How are we crafting the sales model? And so on the marketing side of things, you guys are like craftsmen of these ads. They're well structured. They're engineered. We're constantly testing. So if I can summarize it all, it's excellence.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if you were talking to somebody who's on the fence about joining Lightningrowth, say they've tried other agencies or they just don't think Facebook works, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that Facebook does work. And the thing I would say is that if someone is finding success with the thing, then we understand that success is possible. Mm-hmm. If you can remove the agency component and really look at what we're doing with these leads, you will find success. And that's the big question mark, right? When you're working with an agency, it's a piece that you can't control. There's nobody that I mean, I've tried it tons. I've tried shooting it myself. I've tried hiring an agency. I've tried it all. And we are looking forward to a very long partnership together with Lightningrowth. In fact, I am moving to another market, and in preparation, I said, "Hey, man, I hope that you can hold that market for me, right? You can hold that market for me, right? Because when we go there, we're going to want these leads live."
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I appreciate your guys' business. I appreciate your partnership. I know we've had, obviously with you guys getting hacked, and there have been ups and downs with like just dealing with all that. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the referrals you've given us as well. Brianna's been doing.
I send everyone. I'm like, look. You guys, everyone wants to know what the secret is to Trident marketing, and I'm like, here you go. Here's a crumb. This is a golden nugget. Take the golden nugget and just do it.
Yeah.